It's 5:30 p.m. here in Lagos, Nigeria. Time for the world today. Here's what's coming up within the half hour. Ex-FBI Director James Comey pleads not guilty to charges of lying to Congress. Paraglider bomb attack by Myanmar military kills at least 20 people at a Buddhist festival. Gaza peace talks continue as key U.S. and regional mediators arrive in Egypt. Let's begin the world today. Former U.S. FBI Director James Comey has pleaded not guilty to charges of making false statements to Congress and obstruction of justice. The charges were being examined in a federal court of Virginia. It was the first court appearance for Comey. The first count accuses Comey of making false statements during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing in September of 2020. He claimed he had not authorized anyone to the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports regarding an FBI investigation believed to be about Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. election. The second count, obstruction of congressional proceeding, alleges Comey tried to impede the Senate committee's investigation by making false and misleading statements. Comey was indicted last month, just days after social media posts by President Donald Trump urging his Attorney General Pam Bondi to take action. The move sparked a fierce political debate with Democrats and legal experts accusing Trump of using the Justice Department to target his enemies. Comey was fired by Trump during his first term. He says he's innocent and is ready to face trial. Elsewhere, at least 24 people have been killed, 47 others injured in central Myanmar after the army dropped bombs from a motorized paraglider. A spokesperson for the government in exile says the strike targeted civilians who were protesting against the military junta. The attack took place in Changyu Township, where over 100 people had gathered for a national holiday. Thousands have been killed, millions more displaced since the military seized power in 2021, triggering a civil war involving resistance groups and ethnic militia. After losing control of more than half the country, the army is now launching a bloody campaign of airstrikes and heavy bombardments to regain territory. It is the third day of indirect talks between Israel and Hamas to end the war in Gaza, and top U.S. envoys and prominent regional figures have arrived as mediators in Egypt to discuss President Donald Trump's plan. Among them, in the city of Sharm el-Sheikh, are Trump's special Mideast envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, alongside Qatar's prime minister and Turkey's intelligence chief. As negotiations resume, the senior Hamas official present said the group had shown the necessary positivity and submitted a list of Palestinian prisoners that it wants Israel to release in exchange for hostages being held in Gaza. Israeli media says there is cautious optimism that progress could be made. Trump also struck a positive note, saying there is a real chance that something could be achieved. Meanwhile, Israeli forces have intercepted a new flotilla heading for the Gaza Strip with food and medical supplies on board. According to the Freedom Flotilla Coalition and the organizers of the mission, the fleet, made up of 9 vessels with 140 people on board, stopped in international waters. Israel's foreign ministry describes it as another futile attempt to breach the legal naval blockade and enter a combat zone. Just last week, Israel's military stopped a larger convoy of 42 boats carrying more than 400 activists, including Swedish campaigner Greta Thunberg. Many of them were deported. 6 still are in detention. The latest flotilla was tracked until all 9 boats were stopped about 120 nautical miles off the coast of Gaza. Let's talk about the discussions going on in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. Joining us now is international affairs analyst Charles Chukwunaru. He is in Alberta, Canada. Charles, thank you for joining us on the program. The negotiations are still ongoing. As you see, we're on the third day. You have the Israeli and the Palestinian delegates, and now Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, is attending alongside Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Hamas has already accepted to release the remaining hostages, but what could change as they continue to discuss in Egypt?
Well, Marachi, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be with you on this program. Yeah, what could change? What could change is that Donald Trump may have to come down to Sharma to force all parties to agree to his plan. Because the plan, the so-called peace plan, which I would rather refer to as peace framework, is sort of vague. It's just a skeletal framework that needs to be fleshed out. I don't know how Donald Trump managed to get Bibi Netanyahu to agree to that against the interest of his ruling coalition. I don't know how he got the Arab and Muslim countries to agree to the peace framework, because the conditions are there, if accepted by Hamas, will mean kind of class suicide. It means surrender. It means capitulation. It means Hamas will exist no more. And it is against the law of nature for someone to commit suicide or self-suicide, or for someone to agree not to exist. So it will be hard for Hamas and their backers. And on the side of the Israelis, it will be hard for Bibi Netanyahu's ruling coalition. The far-right members of his ruling coalition don't want it, and Hamas don't want it. So it may take a Donald Trump to fly into Egypt, force everybody to accept it, because people are afraid of telling him no. That is what might change. And I hear that the latest information coming from Sharma, Egypt, is that the Egyptian president, Sisi, is making underground moves to get Donald Trump to come and do it by himself, because he's the only one that can force people or bully people. However, it's called diplomatic effort. Anyway, it's him that has the diplomatic clout to get these two parties to agree to this peace framework.
But you already said it's a skeletal framework, and you might be right when you say that. It lists 20 conditions, for peace in Gaza, and one of them is the release of the hostages. The other one has to do with, the main parts, of this 20-point plan. The other has to do with the disarmament of Hamas. That's a part that Hamas hasn't touched. It's agreed to the release of the hostages, but it's not agreed yet to the disarmament of what happens after the disbandment of Hamas and another board of trustees taking over the administration of Gaza. How do you think, but President Trump arriving there and forcing everyone to sign this doesn't make it legal? There's no assurance that this would last, even if everyone signs to it. They could very well still do what they want, right? With the Israeli Prime Minister continuing with the bombardments in Gaza and Hamas refusing to drop their weapons for peace.
Yeah, when I hear the word peace at this stage, I recall in my last appearance on this program a couple of months ago, I made some predictions which just played out. Peace at this time, it is too ambitious. The 20-point framework, or what they call peace plan, is too ambitious. Let's stop the war. Let's stop the killings. The best Trump can achieve is armistice, just like it happened in 1949. Recall that this Israeli-Palestinian conflict started in 1948. Recall that in 1947, when the United Nations voted for a partition plan, as the British colonialists were leaving the mandate Palestine. There was no country called Palestine at the time. It was a British mandate. It was a colonial mandate which they took over from the Ottoman Empire after the defeat after their defeat in the First World War.
Right.
So now, if you for 53% of the mandate Palestine was given to the Jews, while 43% was given to the Arabs, the Palestinians, and 1%, which was Jerusalem, was to be administered by the UN under UNESCO as a heritage site. The Jews accepted it. The Arabs refused. 5 Arab countries, led by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria, and
but
Iraq,
we've moved past
came to
that.
fight. Hold on. I want to draw this. They came to fight. They said no, and they said they will annihilate Israel. Israel will not be. And I don't know how Israel, which barely had an army, managed to defeat them. And in 1949, there was an armistice because after the war, 1948 war, Israel had taken 78% of the land, and then the remaining 28%, which is Gaza and the West Bank, was controlled by Egypt, Gaza, and then Jordan, West Bank. So the map changed. Now, what people are asking for is for Israel to allow the Palestinians to hold the 22% out of the 43 that they rejected. And one interesting thing here is that Palestinians are not even the ones negotiating for their self-determination. Just like in 1947, 1948, it was the Arab and Islamic countries that said no, that they should not take the 43% of the land. Right now, an armistice, because that is the best they can get, a cessation of hostility, not peace. The Trump peace framework would take a minimum of 20 years to achieve. You're talking about disarmament. How long will it take to disarm these guys? Would they even agree? And the fighters in Gaza are not only Hamas. There are other very brutal Islamic jihadist groups there. Are you going to disarm them? Would they even accept is the line of communication still there? The people who are in hotels in Doha and in Shama, what is the line of communication between them and the commanders on ground that have been scattered everywhere?
You raise some very salient points, Charles. I will give you that. You do raise some very salient points, and yes, peace does seem a bit ambitious at this time. But let's just hope they get. Let's hope they get through with the talks.
What they can achieve right now,
is a
and which I'm praying and hoping for, is let this war stop. This war is very horrific and catastrophic. It is. I don't even want to think about it. What is going on there? Let there be cessation of hostilities, and let there be exchange of prisoners first. And then we'll go to the next step. If Trump can achieve that, he has tried.
Thank you so much, Charles. Appreciate you joining us on The World Today.
I thought you would give me more time. There's so many things, so much to talk about.
That will be a diplomatic channel, I suppose. Thank you for joining us on the program. We're off on a break now on The World Today. Still ahead. Now it's official, Cristiano Ronaldo becomes the first billionaire football player. We'll have details after. Stay with us. Welcome back. Celebration still ongoing for Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary. This time in the UK, put together by the Nigeria-Britain Association. The celebration had in attendance diplomats, members of the association, and friends of Nigeria. Former Commonwealth Secretary General Emeka Anyaoku attended the event, he said that there was still a lot of expectation to be fulfilled in the country. President of the association, Shola Oyetayo, praised the resilience of the Nigerian spirit, which he said has made citizens stand out all over the world.
This marks 65 years of sovereignty, a journey that has been shaped by resilience, fortitude, and remarkable progress. This evening, we're not only commemorating our nation's independence, but also celebrating the enduring partnership between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. A relationship based on shared values and mutual respect, an objective which we hold there in the Nigerian Britain Association. Nigeria and the United Kingdom share deep ties of history, language, education, and people. But history alone cannot sustain us. The path forward is to build bridges and create the future.
At 65, I want to believe that we haven't quite got where we should be at 55. And I'm hoping very much that we've recently started the journey to the new hope, and that would take us a shade nearer where we want to be.
If you look at Nigeria at 65, in terms of governance, so much changes still required. We still need a lot of improvement in the country. But for Nigerians as people, oh my God, we are making waves worldwide. If you look at Nigerians, the best doctors in the world, the best Afrobeats in the world, the best of engineering in the world, science. I'm a professional myself, working in the bank in the UK here. So we are the best in every field. So Nigerians are great people globally.
The Diwali festival is just around the corner and Indians are rushing to buy their gold as the precious metals prices hit an all-time high of $4,000 per ounce. In the capital, New Delhi, there are long lines of customers trying on jewelry, which is a must-have for Indian festivals and family celebrations. One shopkeeper told reporters customers are unfazed by the price hike, saying the prices do not matter. 22-carat gold used mainly for jewelry reached more than $126, while 24-carat gold surged to over $137 per gram. The price rally follows a strong global demand as investors seek safe assets amid geopolitical tensions and expected U.S. Federal Reserve rate cuts.
Coach of the Year is...
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo is now the first football player to become a billionaire. We can safely call him billionaire Cristiano Ronaldo. According to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, which tracks the world's richest people, the 40-year-old Portuguese and Al Nassr striker's wealth measures at $1.4 billion. The figure includes career earnings, investments and endorsements, with Ronaldo earning more than $550 million in salary between 2002 and 2023. He also signed a decade-long deal with Nike worth nearly $18 million a year. When Ronaldo joined Saudi club Al Nassr in 2022, he reportedly became the highest-paid footballer in history, with an annual salary of £177 million. He has since extended his contract by 2 years, a deal reportedly worth over $400 million, which will keep him at the club beyond his 42nd birthday. Sounds like he's made for life, and I've made my producer's dream by reading that story. Thanks for watching The World Today. I'm Amarachi Ubani.